Welcome to Passion for the Pastime, where baseball lives 24/7, 365. Catch conversations with beat writers, broadcasters, current and former players of all levels. Now here's your host,
Walter Balsetta. Whoops, I fumbled. I got to get out of here.
Walter Balsetta.
Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Passion for the Pastime here on a Tuesday, March 11th. We are a week away from the Japan series that is going to start. I don't know what the hell that was. What was that sound? We're going to have to figure that out. But what's up, everybody? Good to see you all in here in the YouTube chat. Started a little bit earlier by popular demand. Shout out Rockin' New Era for wanting the early start time. But what's up, everybody? Good to see you guys all in here in the YouTube chat. We're gonna talk about the Battle of the Bay, I guess, that's going on. And shout out to Rockin' New Era. Oh, hold on, let me real quickly. I gotta rearrange some of this so we can see the YouTube chat. Here we go. Yes, there it is. Tacky, thank you very much. But Rockin' New Era put it beautifully. Battle of the Bay will be San Jose Giants and the Oakland Ballers. That is really interesting that they're going that route. It's going to be fun. We're going to go out there and watch it. Going out to the YouTube chat again, Tacky. Talking about who is it on the radio, Carl? I think you guys are talking about. Yes, it is Joe Rizzo, and it is FP on the call because Dwayne and John are on the TV call right now. The Giants are in the bottom of the seventh inning, currently leading 3-1 against the Athletics. So we're gonna get a lot of Giants talk here. We're gonna kind of revisit some of the Giants stuff that we had going on earlier or last week, and what we didn't get to yesterday because we're on this new channel, right? Or not the new channel, but we're on this new streaming platform to where we're trying to figure things out. I haven't been able to figure out how to pop everyone's comments up individually yet. Still a work in progress, but my comeback to that is that I'm able to pop up the YouTube chat here on the top right-hand corner of the screen. But what's up, everybody? Welcome in to Passion for the Pastime. If this is your first time here, my name is Walter Balsetta. Currently work at KNBR and am a die-hard Giants fan, seam head, whatever you want to call it, but love talking baseball. And we're kind of getting to that moment in the spring to where you're starting to see these guys play. You're starting to see them go out there and compete, and you're just hoping that it can just hurry the hell up. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're in that. And what is that sound? What keeps popping up here? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to figure that out at some point. Because I really do. Oh, you know what? I think it's the event sound, which I still don't know why it's popping up. Is it the comments? I have no idea. This is a learning curve for everybody. But it's kind of, what spring training is right now. I would comp it to, you're in the supermarket, you're at Costco or you're wherever you're getting your groceries, and you're in this long ass line and you're waiting. Turn up the mic. All right, my apologies. My mic, I thought my mic was pretty good. Let me know how that sounds because I was peaking yesterday. But yes, I hope you guys can hear me just fine. But pretty much, yeah. Did someone Zell Walter? Yeah, I would hope so. Let me go ahead and check my account, make sure that I'm getting all the payments in on a timely manner. But yeah, no. Essentially, it's like you're in the supermarket. It's like you're at the grocery store. You're waiting in line, and you just have to buy like this Snickers, right? Or you have to buy like just this one little thing, this one minuscule thing, and you have the person in front of you that has two hearts full, and you're just like, come on, bro. What are we doing? That's kind of where I am in the spring training mode at this point because we're starting to see games on TV. You're starting to hear, Dwayne Kuiper. You're starting to hear John Miller. And it's starting to get real, right? It's starting to get real, and you just want it to happen sooner rather than later. Walter sounds a little low today. My apologies. I think I'm sounding better. Let me know if we're good to go on that. If not, just let me know, and I'll fiddle around here to make sure it's coming in loud and clear. But I don't want to go too loud. For sure, but What's up, everybody? Welcome in to Passion for the Pastime. Again, this is March 11th. We're about a week away from an actual series in the Japan series, which we'll probably talk to some Dodger people, some Cubs people in the coming days while they're heading over to Tokyo, heading over to Japan for that incredible series. I think it's a 2-game series. The Dodgers and the Cubs. Imanaga will be taking the ball in Game 1 against Yamamoto. So it's going to be pretty interesting to follow that along going. And that's the official start to the MLB season. Obviously, everyone else stateside, we got to wait until the 27th, which is 2 weeks from this Thursday. So it's coming up really quickly, and the roster is starting to take shape, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Really interesting if you guys were watching the game. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I watched every single pitch, was trying to get this podcast ready for you guys. So there are things that I've missed, but the big takeaways is Justin Verlander went out there. He competed. I believe he threw, I don't know if he got through 5. Did he get through 5 innings? There we go. Something else happened. Walter, turn the mic up a little more. All right, I think Tacky's just trolling me now. Yeah, we're good. Never believe what Tacky tells me at all, but let's go ahead and look at the line really quickly as we have. Oh, he did get through 5. He got through 5, 4 Ks, only gave up that 1 home run to Zach Geloff early in the game. So you're looking at that. You're looking at Justin Verlander. He's coming in here and setting the tone for this starting rotation. Not to say that, Logan Webb wasn't doing that, but now you have someone else doing that, right? It was always Logan Webb setting the tone for this rotation. Now you have a Justin Verlander. Now you have a Logan Webb. Now it's going to be really interesting to follow along to see how long and how deep Justin Verlander could go into games. I mean, he's going into the season at age 42, so we have to be a little bit mindful there. But just the leadership qualities that Logan Webb had last year and the year before that, there's now another voice in the room, and it's a Hall of Fame voice at that in Justin Verlander. So just seeing him going out there and competing, I would never mislead you, Walter. Yeah, appreciate that, Tacky. Believe that 100%. But yeah, no, just seeing Justin Verlander going out there and competing, it's a good sign. It's a sign of life in this Giants team, and we've been talking about the vibes. We got to get a vibe check from our dude Austin Scottsdale. Still haven't been able to have him on the podcast yet, but we will talk about the Giants and the vibe checks that he had in Arizona when he was down there a couple of weeks ago. But just kind of translating that to now. I mean, you have a lot of guys. Again, I still don't know what that is. What is happening? What is going on? What am I missing? Am I missing something? Something's going on, and I don't really know what it is. But so my apologies. Everything is a learning curve. Let me try to pause this because I have it's a mini feed, and yeah, I'm not entirely sure. What's going on. So if you guys can hear that, my apologies. I'm not trying to. Yeah, Zell. I need to check my bank account. I'm getting rich here. I'm just gonna keep talking if that sound just keeps popping up. Really don't know what that is, but just looking at the Giants and looking at the vibe checks, right? I mean, looking at this team going into it, and I believe that we only heard from Buster Posey on the 30 clubs in 15 days that we played yesterday. I'll get to some of those other videos after we talk to Martin Gallegos, or maybe even before we talk to Martin Gallegos, because he covers the athletics in the MLB.com. And he covers the athletics, the Sacramento, the Las Vegas athletics. They're just straight up athletics, dude. Everywhere you go, it's the weirdest thing. I gotta talk to Martine about that. But it's the weirdest thing. You go on to MLB.com, you go into, I think it's the comments that are coming in here and giving me a sounder. I don't know what the hell that is. Sorry. I'm gonna try to ignore it as much as I can. But so you go with the A's, right? And their name is just the Athletics. It's the weirdest thing, man. It is definitely the weirdest thing that's out there right now, to where you're going on MLB.com, you're going on ESPN, you're going just everywhere, right? And it was interesting because for some reason I got logged out of my MLB.com app. And it asked me to pick my favorite team. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? Like, okay, you guys already know what my favorite team is. Why do I have to ask this again, or answer this again? But it's weird because everyone else has the city and the team. I mean, that's the norm, right? And then you just go down to the Athletics, It just says Athletics. It's the weirdest thing. So we'll talk to Martin Gallegos again. He covers the Athletics, not for the Athletic, for MLB.com. He's a great dude. We'll have him on here regularly whenever the time calls for it. He knows his baseball, and he definitely knows his athletics. So I think it's when you get a new listener that sounders go off. Hell yeah, then I want to keep hearing it. I don't want it just to go away. I want to keep hearing that sound. It's music to my ears. Then if that's the case, EB, really appreciate you for that insight there, because I'm just an idiot here. Audio is fine for me. Thank you, Hannah. Really appreciate you. My lovely assistant there, Hannah, in the chat, chiming in on the conversation. But so yeah, we'll talk to Martin Gallegos. We're scheduled for 6:20. We're on this new platform, so it might be a little bit of a hard start to it with Martin Gallegos, but we'll definitely get in there. We'll talk some Giants baseball. We'll talk some A's baseball. It'll be fun. So we'll talk about the Battle of the Bay as well, and how that kind of takes a new form if it's not there anymore. I mean, it's going to be really strange. I haven't looked at when the Giants play. Oh, you know what? I want to say it's 4th of July. I want to say it's the 4th of July that the Giants go up to Sacramento to play the A's in Sacramento. Yeah, it's a Friday, 4th of July Friday. And yeah, the Giants play a 3-game series up there in Sacramento on 4th of July weekend. So should be fun. Should be fun. Should be electric. But you know, just that whole aspect of the A's going over to Sacramento. I know we've talked about it a little bit here on the podcast. But just if you are an A's fan, right? If you are an A's fan in the Bay Area, are you going up to Sacramento? Is there any part of you that wants to go see that? As a Giants fan, as a baseball fan, I'm curious to know, like to go out there and see. And ticket prices are through the freaking roof, so there's no chance that I'm gonna get out there unless Zach Bayruti, who hooked me up with this beautiful hat, play-by-play of the Sacramento River Cats. Unless Zach Bayruti can sneak me in the back door, you know what I mean? So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if my River Cat connections still hold true to where I can get into for a free game or two to go see the Giants and the A's, or the A's and whoever else Major League that strolls through there. So that kind of piques my interest a little bit, right? Is to go to this minor league ballpark to go see Aaron Judge, and I don't want to harp on John Fisher's thoughts of, oh well, yeah, imagine Aaron Judge hitting home runs into the Sacramento River. I'm just like, okay, well, yes, that is interesting, but it's not. Just forget everything about that statement because the A's and Fisher, they just piss me off to no end. But you know, it does make me a little curious to go to that ballpark and to see these major leaguers stroll through there. So will I go? Probably not. Will I fantasize about it? Probably. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll get. You guys are coming in with the ticket prices. It's coming in hot right now. Yeah, they should have been at Howard Terminal or maybe a stadium at the Coliseum complex. Yeah, I agree with that, Otis. And what's up, Otis? Good to see you in here as well. EB chiming in. I found the Athletic opening day tickets for $100 each. That's actually not bad. I mean, that's not bad. I know it's the A's. I know it's the product that you're getting. But for as far as the opening day ticket price, I mean, isn't that kind of standard rate? Or maybe I'm just conditioned to how the tickets are for the Giants, or how they were over the last decade. So maybe that's not standard rate. Like, I don't know. How much does an opening day ticket cost in Kansas City? Like, how much does the opening day ticket cost in St. Louis? You know what I mean? Like, I would like to know some of these other smaller markets, like in Milwaukee. How much is an opening day ticket going for? $100 doesn't seem like too much. But yes, music to my ears. That reminds me to tell everybody, welcome in to Passion for the Pastime. If this is your first time here on the podcast, I advise you to subscribe to the channel, to give me a like, and set those notifications, because we're having a good time here. Obviously, we're going up against the Giants game right now, and the A's are making a push. I haven't been seeing what's going on with Ryan Walker, but he has given up a run, I believe, in the top of the 8th inning. So it's 3-2 Giants in the top of the 8th with a man on first and 2 outs with an 0-2 count coming here. Who's hitting? I don't even know who. I don't know who's hitting. a 63. I don't know who that is. Maybe I'll ask Martin Gallegos when he pops onto the podcast. But we're getting excited, man. We're getting excited for this Giants season. And I mean, we could talk A's, we could talk Giants. We'll definitely get into that with Martin Gallegos. But before he comes in here, we were talking about the vibes, right? We were talking about this Giants team and looking at the lineup that came out there. We were talking about Verlander, and he sets the tone for the pitching side of things alongside with Logan Webb, and it's a young staff, right? I mean, you got Robbie Ray, and you hope that he kind of sets the tone as well, because he's someone that is well accomplished in Major League Baseball. He won a Cy Young Award, so you have a future Hall of Famer, you have a Cy Young Award runner up, but a dude that his sinker is the best his changeup is the best in baseball. And then you go to Robbie Ray, who was a former Cy Young Award winner, and you go down the line with Jordan Hicks and whoever is that number 5 rotation spot. We'll have to figure that out as well. Kansas City, they'll come pick you up. Yeah, thank you, EB. Really appreciate that. But you know, it's really interesting to kind of see how this roster is going to be filled out. But also interesting is how this lineup is going to be thrown out there, how this lineup is going to be utilized. Because today, I mean, we kind of been trying to figure out what the lineup would be, right, and what the ideal fits are. And I was talking about this with Austin Scott, the digital boy, digital dude from KMBR. Austin Scottsdale is what I call him. I'm never going to call him by his real name anymore, because Austin Scottsdale just runs off the tongue. But we were talking about the lineup, and today we were getting a glimpse at what it could potentially be. Bob Melvin goes out there and says, yeah, you could see Elliot Ramos being the leadoff guy against lefties during the season. Is that a end all be all? Is that a automatic bid against lefties? I don't know if it will be, but it is something that they're going to experiment with, right? I mean, I don't know if you are confident with Elliot Ramos being the leadoff guy. I don't know if that works out well for the beginning of the game. But let me tell you, when the lineup turns over, when you got a Mike Yastrzemski batting 8th, when you have or maybe in that case, because Yastrzemski probably won't be in the lineup against the lefty, maybe he will. But okay. Yastrzemski, maybe it's Luis Matos, maybe it's Gerard Encarnacion in that 8th spot. Then you have Tyler Fitzgerald, who's going to be at second base, and then the lineup turns over. Then it goes Elliot Ramos, then it goes Willy Adames, then it goes Jung-Hoo Lee. Then that's kind of a lineup that you can kind of get behind. You can kind of get behind that with the lefty on the mound. But I guess the question is, when you're looking at going against lefties, yeah, Digital Boy, I know you guys like that. I guess when it comes going against lefties is who else? Who else is it? That was kind of my retort to Austin in the bullpen. You guys see us on the bullpen cam. This is literally what we talk about during breaks and the such. But my retort was, okay, if it's not Elliot Ramos, who else would it be? Who else would you want in that? Because I thought for a second that it would be Lamont Wade Jr. against righties, and it would be Jung-Hoo Lee against lefties, right? I thought that's how the leadoff position was going to go. But if this is an experimentation, if they're looking to see if Elliot Ramos can do that, and maybe it's not a for sure thing going into their first lefty of the year in Cincinnati, and they throw out Elliot Ramos. Maybe that's not the case, but they're trying to see what other options they have, because outside of, if you want to go a true righty going up against a lefty as your leadoff hitter, there's not a lot of options. Like I said, I mean, you going to throw Wilmer Flores up there? No. I was thinking that eventually, and hopefully, you know, he develops the plate discipline, and he can be a force to be to be a leadoff guy, because he does have a little bit of speed, or not a little bit of speed. He has a lot of speed. He brings more athleticism to this team. Is that Tyler Fitzgerald, right? We're looking at him in the 9th spot. I think that's a beautiful spot for him to be in, because he's going to get good, solid hits, or good, solid pitches to hit, because of the turnover of the roster. You don't want to have him on the base paths while you have to deal with Lamont Wade Jr., while you have to deal with Willy Adames, Jung-Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman. That is a nightmare scenario, especially with, dude, especially, and I see that the Giants and the A's are tied now, but especially with how this team is going about it with I just lost my train of thought. My apologies. But it's really interesting to see how the Giants are going to formulate this roster, how they are going to go about it with lefties, go against with righties. What I was gonna say, because you have that roster turnover, you look at what these guys are doing in spring, and I know it's spring training. And I got to talk to Martin Gallegos. I got to have him, kind of talk me into reality a little bit, because you don't want to go solely on what they're doing in spring. But what they're doing in spring, and there is a thing about, peaking too early, right? There is a thing about peaking too early. We hear it all the time with football, when you're going through the season and teams are hitting a stride in November. It's like, man, you maybe wanted to wait until December, late December, until you get into that playoff push, right? There is a thing about teams peaking too early, players peaking too early, but I feel like with this team, looking at Matt Chapman, he's a veteran. He doesn't need the confidence boost, but to see that he is hitting on all cylinders right now, and I believe he's currently hitting he has to be hitting around 600. Did I just see? Nope, that's not Camilo Doval. That is Piguero on the mound for the Giants. Tie ball game I believe it's in the top of the ninth, right? Top of the ninth inning right now. Nope, top of the 8th. Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow. The Giants are about to lose this thing. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. With Piguero on the mound. But you're looking at this Giants team as you're looking at Matt Chapman, you're looking at Willie Adames, who's also hitting the cover off the ball. You're looking at Jung-Hoo Lee. That I feel like that combination, that 2-3-4, could be something serious. And again, we're going off of we're going off of numbers in spring, and you don't want to go too high. You don't want to undersell it, but you don't want to oversell it too. But from what I'm seeing with Jung-Hoo Lee, and we saw it earlier tonight, is that he took the ball and he hit it to essentially dead center. I mean, it was right center, but it was essentially dead center field. He would have had a triple. He has wheels. He is called the grandfather, or the grandson of the win for a reason, right? I mean, we were trying to figure out, well, I mean, he doesn't have the stolen base numbers. That's not a part of his game. Now, I've brought to your attention what he has said in the past. I believe it was with Austin Scott when he was talking to him about what he wants to accomplish this year. And he said that he and the Giants coaching staff wants to try to attempt to steal 30 bases. That would be huge. But you see he would have had a triple. It turned into a ground rule double, but then Matt Chapman goes ahead and hits him in, and he scores easily on a single to shallow center, and he came around to score. So that speed, that athleticism is something that the Giants have been thirsting for a number of years. So Jung-Hoo Lee could definitely be that type of person. Let's go out to the YouTube chat, because you guys are chiming in on the squirrel. Yeah, no, that's definitely me. I get lost in my own thoughts, and I get easily distracted. So that chime that pops in every so often, it does throw me off a bit. It does throw me off a bit. So I'm trying to I could mute it. But I'm not gonna do that at all. So let's go ahead and go to the YouTube chat really quickly. Walter lost his train of thought when the Athletics tied the score. He's a real Giants fan. Yeah, dude. No, I definitely got confused. I'm watching this game right now with all my heart. So it pains me. I think the Giants got out of it in that, because I'm watching a Ford commercial. So I'm assuming that all is well in the desert. Yeah, 3-3. Look at that, Giants getting 9 hits. Look at that. That's beautiful. Mike Yastrzemski, who was mic'd up. I'm not listening to it right now, but he was mic'd up. Anyways, let's go back out to the YouTube chat really quickly. They got out of the inning. Thank you, Anthony. Really appreciate you. I haven't seen Anthony in here in a while, but thank you for stopping by on the podcast, man. I hope you're having a good time, and we're talking some Giants baseball. Anthony chiming in later on the YouTube chat. Schmidt and Roop for Mr. Wade got a double. I don't know what the Mister is. But all right, Wade got a double. Hell yeah. Win could also be a fart. That is true. You pre-order MLB 25 should be a good one. Look, see, here's my thing. I have MLB 24 ready to go. I have it ready to go. I can turn it on and we can play a game right now. You guys can watch along if that's what the course of this podcast takes us, if that's what we wanted to do. But unfortunately, I did not know this. And I'm in the works. I'm putting in my taxes. I'm getting my taxes back. Getting some money coming in. Maybe I'll use it towards a new system. Who knows? I don't know. But I didn't know that MLB 25 was exclusive to new gen. That pissed me off. So I'm kind of like, do I do it? I was like, do I put in the money? Because I mean that's gonna run you like $250 easily. I don't know. I haven't made that decision yet. But if I'm making that decision right now, I'm not gonna have MLB 25 for quite some time. But maybe we will at some point during the season. We won't have it when it releases. It comes out next Tuesday, right on the 18th. Coincidentally, when the season opens. I don't know why the hell they don't bring it out a week before or whatever. But yeah. So PS4 users are gonna miss out. Xbox One, that is me. We're gonna miss out. So I have 24. I'm gonna rock with 24. I have the new rosters on there. I know that's essentially, I mean, MLB The Show has kind of turned into Madden in that sense, to where you're getting the game for an updated roster, right? Who just got a double right there? Is that a replay? Who's 80? I don't know who 80 is. Yeah, this is the time of the game that you don't know who anybody is. But somebody hit a double down the right field line, so I like that. Who's hitting here? Christian Koss. Okay, yeah, all right. Giants got some action here. Anyways, so we're waiting for Martin Gallegos. He's going to join us here in the next couple of minutes. But yeah, to answer your question, is I will probably not have MLB 25 at the start of when it gets released, but at some point, and yeah, just trick Greg Papa into buying it for you. Yeah, maybe I'll ask him for a birthday gift, and maybe he'll give it to me. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. Jake Lamb is number 80. Okay, thank you. Damn, they couldn't get him a better number. I know he was a non-roster invitee, but he's been in the major leagues. Damn. Let's see. Cool, you missed it. 23. I got a PS5 in November, $400 with game. Geez, yeah, dude, I'm not dropping $400. Anthony, if you want to buy me one, feel free to fork over the cash. We all hear the chime coming in every so often. We need more of that to get MLB The Show on time in a week's time. But let's see what else you guys are talking about. Rock a New Era. Tacky, or he can have Derek to ask Greg when Greg thinks it's for Derek, and Derek can give it to Walter. No chance that Greg is buying Derek anything. So I'm probably more better off asking Derek or asking Greg myself. I'm just being, yeah, get me off the screen, bro. Dude, I don't know if you guys were listening to the show. Just a quick tangent, and then we'll get back into some Giants spring training baseball. A quick side note. I don't know if you guys were listening to Papa and Silver at any point today, but we got to a point to where we were playing highlights. We were playing calls of the players that have departed. Right? We went through Dre Greenlaw. That's how we brought in the segment. Then we went to Travarius Ward. We went to Juszczyk. I think we went Juszczyk and then Travarius Ward, and then we ended it with with Talanoa Ufanga returning the call or returning the blocked punt against the Packers. I believe what year was that? Was that 21 or was it 19? I don't remember what year that was. What year was that when there was a blocked punt? Talanoa Ufanga returned it. I want to say it was 21, right? That they went to Lambeau, and they ended up coming out victorious on returning a punt, but that wasn't the best call of the game, right? It wasn't the best, and Papa hates these calls, and that's why I play it with a smile on my face. Is that So he called that one. I think that was the tying one. And then later in the game, that's when Robbie Gould hit the game-winning field goal, and it was by far it was a funny call. Like, I was laughing pretty hard, but I kept hitting him with the calls because I know he hated it. And the Giants just got was that a two-run homer? Damn, it is raining in Scottsdale right now. That's incredible. I'm not sure how they scored. I think it was a homer. I think it was a homer from Koss, right? Or was it Stassi? Yeah, you guys let me know. Stassi went yard. Okay, hey, backup catcher. Would love to see that. But yeah, so I was just doing that just to peel back the curtain, and and after we went to break, and I went to break and I played the Robbie Gould. It's good. Like, you just hear his voice just crack incredibly. And then we go to break and he just says, I fucking hate you. But you know, he meant it with love. So yes, if I was to ask Greg Papa for a not a PlayStation, Xbox, the newer generation, he'd probably give it to me before he gives it to Derek Papa. If Derek Papa is in if he's in the chat, definitely chime in on this information that I'm divulging to the YouTube family here. But really quickly, before we are joined by Martin Gallegos, let me go ahead and switch on over. And I think I know where the sound is coming from now. I think I figured it out. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the chat box. I think I figured it out, guys. Because it's coming from the chat box. I just realized that when Anthony put in another one, when Anthony put in another comment here, it sprung out. So I think that is what it is, and I think that I have it muted. We'll have to figure that out. But we're waiting for Martin Gallegos to join us shortly. I think hold on. Let's see. I'm waiting to talk to a starter, so I might have to join a few minutes after 6:20. No worries. Let me know. No worries. All right, so Martin is giving us a couple of more minutes here, so he's not going to join us right at 6:20. He'll join us a little later. So Walter just said, "Fuck the chatters." No, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? No, I love the chatters. It's alarming. I don't know if you guys can hear it, right? You guys can hear it, so it's just alarming. I don't have the tunnel vision for me to not be distracted by that sound in my ear, and it is loud as shit in my headphones. So no, I'm reading all your messages here. I think I've missed a lot. So my apologies, but I'm definitely I love the chat. Definitely love the chat. But all right, so I'm gonna go out to the I'm not gonna go out to it, but I'm gonna go ahead and start the video portion of this show. We were talking about the vibes a little bit here. And let's just hear from Bob Melvin as to why I think that this team could do some damage this year. We're going to get into our predictions leading into the first week of spring, or not of spring training, of the start of the season, of opening day. So we'll give some predictions. But the reason why I think that this Giants team is a little bit different than in years past is reasons that Bob Melvin highlights here. So this was Bob Melvin. He was talking with, I believe, Mark DeRosa and with Greg Amsinger during last week's appearance on MLB's 30 Clubs in 15 Days. So here's the manager, Bob Melvin.
Bob Melvin joins us now. Bob, always good to see you. It's our manager interview presented by Sage. Man, I got to tell you, Bob, there's a breath of fresh air in this camp right now. How would you describe it?
Well, it's a different vibe. You know, last year we brought some free agents on kind of late in camp, so we never really felt like we were connected from the very beginning. We signed a Willie Adames this year, buys a house here. He's here a month before. He's working with Tyler Fitzgerald over second base. Matt Chapman lives here. Once we get to first day of camp, it feels feels like we've been hitting the ground running already, and it's just a little bit more cohesive this year, and it's a really good vibe. These guys are playing for each other, and these guys are all buying in.
I see Barry Bonds walking around, Marco Scutaro walking around. Are you guys like leaning into your rich history more?
Big time. I mean, the entire camp, we have like 2 guys here, on a particular week. Dusty's coming today. Yusmeiro Petit was here. Casilla was here. Javier Lopez is here. Scutaro's here. Hunter Pence is coming. I mean, it's one after the other until the end of camp.
And how does that impact things?
Well, my message is, look, these guys are part of a foundation here in San Francisco that you should be inspired by. Lean on these guys because there's been a lot of success here.
From a lineup standpoint, I think it kind of went under the radar. Jung Hoo Lee getting hurt so quick last year. Everyone I talked to around the camp, this guy finds barrel consistently.
He does. Last year he got hurt so early that, the season goes along, you kind of forget about it, and then you have some perspective at the end of the year. This guy was a major sign for us. And, as a manager, it's kind of fun to have a guy that you can put some stuff in action and know he's going to put the bat on the ball. And a lot of times it's a barrel. So now every time he swings the bat, he hits the ball. It's pretty special.
What are you expecting from Verlander, Justin Verlander this year?
I've had some tough games against Justin Verlander in the past.
We all have.
I told him when he came here, you're going to run some laps to pay for this. But you can see the talent level, obviously. You watch you compete against him. But until you're actually with him and see how curious he is all the time and, how he's all in it for these younger guys, too. You watch his bullpens. He's got stuff for everybody. The talent level's great, but, I'm better than you are. And I've done that for a long time. Not only are we lucky to have him, but we have a lot of good young pitchers here that can learn a lot from him.
What about the young group, the prospects? Is there a young guy in this camp that's catching your eye?
Well, the easy one is Bryce Eldridge. So we just sent him down the other day. He got a little taste of it here. This guy's going to be a real force. He's going to push the envelope pretty quickly. At some point in time, whether it's this year or next year, he's going to be a major force for us.
Willie Adames coming in.
Huge.
You got arguably the best left side of the infield in the game.
We like it.
But just energy-wise, too.
The one thing I noticed from Willie playing against him all the time, it always looked like every day was opening day to him. And that rubs off on the guys.
It's tough to do.
Everybody wants to be Willie Adames and wants to be around him. You get the buy-in from guys like he and Chapman, it's easy.
Bob Melvin Joy.
Yeah, so there it is with Bob Melvin talking about this Giants team and the additions that they made, highlighting obviously Justin Verlander, who Otis Bird. You put that really well. Otis is. Let me see. Can I highlight? No, I can't. I try to do something I thought I can do, and I can't do it. So bear with me. But yeah, looking at Justin Verlander, Verlander is almost like the Jimmy Butler of the Giants, another veteran and kind of coach on the floor. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's not the only reason why they brought him in there, right? I mean, we played Buster Posey in yesterday in talking about, what was his sell to Justin Verlander. You didn't solely bring him in here to be a mentor to the young pitchers, but it does help to have that. It does help to have a guy of his pedigree on this roster, because especially with this young starting rotation with Kyle Harrison and Hayden Birdsong and Landon Roop and even a Jordan Hicks, right? And I think that it helps out. Wow, Joey Bosa to Buffalo, that sucks. Thank you for that, Tacky. But yeah, I mean, that definitely helps for the Giants to have a player of his caliber on this roster. The reason that Tacky, I think Tacky asked earlier, why are they playing in this downpour? Because Eric Miller needs reps, dude. He could potentially be the only lefty out of the bullpen. Now, another guy that I'm going to play here shortly, because Bob Melvin was asked about a youngster, these young guys in camp, who he's looking out for. He didn't mention a Carson Wisenhunt, who is still on the big league club right now, still at big league camp, to where he's a lefty out of the he could be a lefty out of the bullpen if they wanted to go that route. He pitched really well in AAA. I know that eventually he's going to be a starter, but he could maybe make an appearance. He could maybe be a force out of the bullpen and being another lefty in the bullpen. So looking at Eric Miller right now, he's going out there and competing, and I don't know how far behind I am if the Giants have won. I saw somebody put out a double play, right? Was that earlier? But yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to follow along with all these young guys. I mean, yeah, Bryce Eldridge, he was the headline, but Carson Whisenhunt is one of those guys as well that is kind of shining a little bit here in the in spring training this March of 2025. So really quickly, let's go ahead and get to Logan Webb. Logan Webb was and this was over the weekend. This was a play-by-play kind of deal with Logan Webb in the dugout. You know, they do that on the live broadcast, and I believe he was talking with John Miller and Dwayne Kuiper to where he was pretty much talking about Matt Chapman, and then he goes out there and makes a great play. I think it's another way to show how this team, how their vibes are really checking out right now. Everyone is feeling good at spring training for the Giants. So here's Logan Webb talking about his manager of the hot corner, Matt Chapman.
It's a fan.
I mean, when you're watching from the side like that, and your teammates on the mound, wow, look at that play.
Pretty good player right
How's
there.
How's that guy? Pretty good?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a good player. He's even stealing bases now.
He seems, I don't remember him being that fast as we saw him last year.
Don't give him that much credit.
But when you're watching a guy like Keaton win, you saw what he did getting out of that second and third nobody out jam. As you see that play again.
Yeah. It's a fan.
He just says, "Yeah, don't give him too much credit, John. Come on, I mean, he's a big leader. Don't give him too much credit." But yeah, it's just that kind of leadership. It's just that kind of vibes. Like these guys they enjoy playing with each other, right? And I think that could take you to new heights. I mean, we over the last couple of years, right? I mean, we kept prior to last year. The Giants' retort to the Dodgers year in after year after year after year was that you can't buy a championship. You can't buy chemistry. And that seemed to be the biggest thing. Their biggest hurdle was that they had a whole bunch of individuals on a team to where they weren't meshing together as a club, right? So, I mean, yeah, they went out and bought a championship and whatever. But you look at this Giants team and you look at just the personalities that they have. And, you know, you talk about Willy Adames and him being, you know, the ultimate vibe check to where Bob Melvin says that it's like opening day every single day for that guy. That type of attitude can be infectious. Have you ever been at work and you have a coworker that is just a curmudgeon, that is just there, that doesn't want to be there, and it's just not enjoyable to be around that in particular person? It is a downer. It is a huge downer for your team, for your office space, right? Depending on where you end up working. I know a lot of people work remotely now, so you don't maybe have those interactions. But all I'm saying is, if you have a bad interaction with somebody at work, it's not a easy flow. And it's a lot harder for you to work together as a team, to where a lot of these guys, you look at Willy Adames, you look at that infectious personality that he has, that it's rubbing off on maybe a Jung-Hoo Lee, maybe it rubs off on a Elliot Ramos, maybe it rubs off on a Tyler Fitzgerald, that, you know, their teammates there that are going to have to figure out how to work the double play ball, right? So they're working closely together. But even before then, Tyler Fitzgerald was on MLB Network a couple of weeks ago, was talking about the influence that Willy Adames has had on him already, because when Willy Adames signed, they got out there. He has a place in Arizona. They were taking ground balls. And he was just being a sponge for all of them, and pretty much trying to get that chemistry naturally in working together. So again, you look across this team, you look in the diamond, or you look in the bullpen, you look in the clubhouse, you look just everywhere around the diamond. This team is gelling. So I do think that takes that shouldn't be overshadowed. It shouldn't be overshadowed. Like, is that going to win you 100 games? No, it's not going to win you 100 games. But I do think that it's a culture that is going to be infectious from the outside looking in. Then you start looking at these free agents, and it's like, it looks fun to be a Giant again. It looks fun to be a Giant again, and maybe you can bring in those guys. That is what Buster Posey is attempting to do. He's trying to rebuild this culture of what it means to be a San Francisco Giant. And if they can go out there, they can compete and be competitive and look like they're having a good time at the same time, I think that takes you miles ahead of whatever dollar amount that you can throw at somebody. If it's a good place, if it's somewhere that looks like they have a good culture and they're developing a culture and getting back to a winning standard for the San Francisco Giants, I think that could take you a lot further than just 2025 and 2026. It could take you beyond that. So what's up, everybody? Good to see you all in the YouTube chat. Seeing Ernie in here, Pat H. Walt, come out to Harmonic Thursday. Dirty Work is going out there. Yeah, I'm aware of the Harmonic show. I probably won't make this one, but I'll make the next one. I'm not sure how many more times they're actually going to be going out there, but I don't think I'm going to be going this week, Pat H. But I know you'll be out there, dude. I know you're going to be out there and have a good time. Maybe I change my mind. Maybe I go out to the Harmonic show. But as of right now, I'm not planning on going. But no, dude, the Harmonic shows are definitely a lot of fun. So if you haven't, if you're listening to this and you want to go catch some dubs and you haven't been out to Harmonic yet, during a Copes and D-Pop show, you guys should definitely do it. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's good vibes there. I mean, we're talking about vibes. Harmonic has a fantastic vibe, that you want to go to. So, definitely check out the boys there on Thursday. So, really quickly, let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. What else we got going on? What else have I missed? You guys, let me know. How are you guys feeling? 'Cause, like, am I being a little bit too optimistic for this Giants team? I know it's spring training. They're 12-3-3. I understand that. We're not, when the regular season starts, all these stats just disappear. Nothing matters. But there is something to be said about these players going in here and competing at a high level. So how are you guys feeling about this team? I know I've shared my thoughts on.
Welcome to Pat.
You knew it was gonna happen. I was just trying to switch back. And really quickly, it's dark in here, so I'm gonna turn on the light real quick. So I'm gonna let the intro play real quick.
Welcome to Passion for the Pastime, where baseball lives 24/7, 365. Catch conversations with beat writers, broadcasters, current and former players of all levels. Now here's your host,
Walter Ika Balsetta. Whoops, I fumbled. I got to get out of here.
Walter Ika Balsetta.
All right, perfect. We're back. Is my mic still coming in low? Is it really coming in low? I could jack it up. I don't know if that helps. Misfire. Walleezy's misfire of the night. Yes, it is. Levels are all crazy. Well, my apologies, guys. I'm trying to figure out everything. I don't know why the levels are crazy. I thought I figured it out yesterday. My mic is at 79. I can jump it up a little bit. How's that? Is that a little better? Is that a little better? Let me know. Let me know if that is a little bit better. The desktop audio is a little low here, but I'm just going through all this. I think we're good. So my apologies. It might be your phone, bro. It might be your phone, but let's see what else we got. Dude, I had to put you on 80. Oh, well, my apologies. That intro loud as fuck. Yeah, sorry, Ernie. My apologies. Then that shit hits. Sorry, guys. I should have. Well, I did give you. Well, I didn't really give you a fair warning. But my apologies. AJ can hear me just fine. So I don't know. Maybe that's a personal problem. Maybe you guys got to go get your ears checked. I don't know. I mean, this is a PSA. Go get your ears checked. If you can't hear me, I'm on a laptop. Okay, well that's the problem. Get on your phone, bro. No, I'm just messing with you, Tacky. Am I? I don't know. But all right, let's see what else we got going on here. But let me know, like, what do you guys think about, dude? Crank your shit. We can turn ours down. All right, okay. I'm gonna crank it. It's at 100. It's at 100 right now. That's the max. That's the max. I think that is the max that I can bring it into, because I'm not coming in through the desktop. So I think that's good. Is that good? Are we satisfied? Are we happy? Are we happy with my levels right now? I mean, I'm really, I'm trying to figure this out with you guys in real time. Are you satisfied? 50 minutes into the show, are you satisfied with my levels? Let me know. And I'm talking specifically to Tacky because he has not chimed in on the YouTube chat since I started messing with things. I would have proposed if it was on my. Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you. That intro 500 now. Yeah. It doesn't sound too loud for me, so I apologize. If that ruptured your ruptured. If it ruptured your eardrum, I apologize. But yeah, we're still waiting for Martin Gallegos to join us on the show. But really quickly, I mean, you guys got to let me know. Okay, you got to put you on my stereo. Okay, you got to put you on my stereo. All right. I thank you. I'm not entirely sure what that means, Anthony, but thank you for listening. All right. So what else do you guys want to get into tonight as we're waiting for Martin Gallegos to join the podcast, because we are going to talk some Giants. We're going to talk some A's as well, talk about that move to Sacramento. Thank you, AJ, for fact-checking me. Shouldn't the intro have stayed the same? You know what? These are good questions. These are really good questions, Tacky. But let me see. The I can't adjust it here. I can't adjust the intro there, but I want to say it. Oh, you know what? Here we go. It was blaring. How does this sound? Is that a little better?
Welcome to
That's a little
Passion
better,
for the
right?
Pastime.
That was a little better. That was a little better, right? I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out. So if it was better, please let me know. And if it wasn't better, then I don't know what to tell you. But we're going to talk to Martin Gallegos here in a few minutes. I know that he's wrapping up stuff in the desert, so as soon as he is free, he can jump on to the podcast. We'll talk some Giants, talk some A's. But how are you guys feeling about this team? Like, legitimately. Like, I want to know what you guys are thinking. I know AJ is he was an A's fan, right? But he's switching over to the Giants. But, you look at this team and how they're performing in spring training. It's really interesting to see how good they could potentially be. I mean, how much are you looking in to this squad? How much are you looking into what this team can do, and based on what they've been doing and their output for the Giants in spring training? Martin is good to go. Solid. Just click the link. And I got you here. So Martin is going to join here shortly. I'm just keeping an eye out for Martin Gallegos to jump into my little screen here. Let me make it a little bigger. But yeah, how are you guys feeling about this Giants team? Because I am really excited to see what they could potentially do this year. I think that they're it's not just, it's spring training, don't look at it too much. I think that there is enough to be said to where these guys are hitting on a different wavelength right now. I know it's spring training; these games don't count, and it sucks. I wish that the Giants get off to a 12-3 start. That's just the fact of the matter. But are we a little bit more optimistic now than you were coming into spring training? I guess that's my question. If I was to rephrase it, are you more optimistic now about this Giants team based on what you've seen in spring training than you were at the beginning when they had the signing with Willy Adames, when they brought in Justin Verlander? Are you feeling a little bit better with the results of this Giants team right now in spring training? So go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the YouTube chat, and we can converse. But I believe that we are being joined here shortly by Martin Gallegos. So let me go ahead and do this really quickly. Let's see. What's up, Martin? I know I don't have you in the YouTube yet, so give me 1 second, and I'll bring you back in here. Give me 1 second. Let's go to the guest. and should be joining in shortly. Give me 1 second, Martin. And I think we got you up here. There it is, Martin Gallegos, live from Scottsdale Stadium. What's up, man? Good to see you and good to talk to you. How you doing these days? Oh damn, I can't hear Martin. Give me 1 second, dude. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Let's see. How about that? I can't hear you right now. Nope, still can't hear you. I think it might be the audio interface. Maybe I think you have to use the cell phone. Unfortunately, let's see here. Let me see. If not, let me see. I could just give you a call. You want me to give you a call? Might be better. All right. Let me give Martin a call because I don't think you guys can hear him. I definitely can. But let me give Martin a call here, and I will get him off the screen. And Martin, I'll give you a call on the phone, man. I'll give you a call. All right, sweet. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Martin a call on the phone, and then we'll talk about the A's here shortly. So let me make sure that I am connected. We are doing a lot of things on the fly right now. So let's see what we got going on here. Let me call Martin on the phone, and I appreciate you being patient with me, bro. This is a new it's a new setup here because I was doing a lot of it on StreamYard or StreamYard. So I switched over to a different one. So you're actually the first guest. So you're the guinea pig, bro. So I appreciate you helping me out here. But let's see what else we got going on here. So I think I got Martin on the phone now. Martin, you got me? You hear me?
I can hear you. You got me?
Hell yeah, dude. I do have you. I still have you on the screen here. So I'm just popping you up. I still got you on there. And there we go. I think we're good. What's up, Martin? How you doing, bro?
What's up? I'm good. Just wrapped up this game out here. A's Giants. No longer, I guess, technically Battle of the Bay, but
no,
it's always fun seeing these two teams play each other.
Yeah, man. No, it's always a fun time, and that was gonna be my question. I mean, it's no longer a Battle of the Bay, right? I mean, we're not calling that anymore. We can't really call it that anymore. It's done. It's over with, right?
Yeah, I guess so. They're gonna have to come up with a new name because I mean, I guess it's still Northern California somewhat. Maybe probably a name will come up at some point, but the fans still get into it. I think the ones that are still following the A's will still enjoy facing off against the Giants.
Yeah, so I wanna ask you, man, because you're boots on the ground and you've been kind of following, and we'll talk about the move to Las Vegas and all that kind of stuff. But from your perspective, I mean, how much of it does it change your day to day? I mean, I know you're not going to the Coliseum anymore. You're going up to Raleigh Field, or I guess it's Sutter Health Park now in Sacramento. So I mean, how much does that change your difference with covering this club?
Yeah, so it'll be different. I'll be moving to Sacramento just to be closer to the ballpark.
Yeah.
And playing in a new stadium. I've never really been to Sutter Health Park to cover a game. I've seen it, just up close and outside of it. But it's going to be just interesting how it all works out. I'm sure there's going to be some little issues here and there that creep up that they got to fix. But from what I've heard, they've done a lot of upgrades to the stadium to make it up to Major League standards, and they're doing all they can to make the players feel comfortable. So, we'll see how it all plays out, but it's definitely going to be different from what I've been used to be doing. I was used to the Coliseum for 7 years, and that's all I knew. So it's a new adventure, and I think we're all kind of still waiting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a new adventure for you. I mean, I used to work at the River Cats a couple of years ago. So, I mean, it's a nice ballpark, but it gets hot, man. It gets hot. So I haven't looked at the schedule for the A's, but are we doing primary? Because I know that with the Sacramento River Cats, I mean, they play 6-game series, right? They play all through the week, but when it gets to in the summer months, they're all primarily night games, right? So have you looked at the schedule? Is that kind of the same type of scheduling that the A's are dealing with here, that they're going to play primarily night games in Sacramento during this heat that they have in Sacramento? Are there a lot of day games? Like, what's the schedule composition with the A's moving to Sacramento?
Yeah, so it's very night heavy. I think I want to say 60 of 81 games are going to be at night, and they've kind of structured it so that 1 week they're in town, the Rivercats are away, A's go away, the Rivercats come in. So they've structured it well to where there shouldn't be too many issues. Obviously, the big question will be playing on a field for 150, 160 games, whatever. It's going to get beat up pretty good. There was talk of them putting turf in there. That ended up not happening. I think the players were very against that, and rightfully so. I mean, it gets, like you said, it gets so hot there. So I think it's good that they're playing on natural grass. But, they've structured it so that they kind of avoid that heat that Sacramento gets in the middle of the summer. There's going to be a lot of night games, and they'll be mostly on the road, I think, in those middle months. And they'll be most of the day games will be, April, maybe some May, and then September to end the season.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are the A's? I want to say I saw some of the schedule, but are the A's going on like a longer than usual road trip at certain points during the season?
I don't think it's too crazy. I don't remember the schedule right off the top of my head, but it seems pretty normal to what we've been used to the past couple of years. I mean, there might be some long ones in there. There's some 3 cities, but it's nothing like out of the ordinary that any other baseball team doesn't go through. So I think they've found a way to kind of work around it and kind of keep it as close to a normal schedule as possible.
All right, we're talking to Martin Gallegos of MLB.com, covers the A's and is down there in Scottsdale. Real quick, dude. I mean, I buried the lead. Are you staying dry? Like you're good, right? Because that was a lot of rain that was coming down at the end.
Yeah, I guess they were right about the forecast because they pushed it up to 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
For a while, the beginning of the game, it was pretty sunny, and we were like, "Whoa, why'd they push it up?" But I mean, they know what they're doing. The meteorologists out here know how the weather gets. So, but right now it looks cloudy, but the rain seems to have stopped, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, you talk about weird weather, man. I don't know how familiar you are with Las Vegas or anything, and I know that the stadium that gets built there, it should be enclosed, right? But Las Vegas, they get a lot of flash floods, man. Like randomly, it would just start raining, and you're in the desert. You're like, where the hell does rain come from? So yeah, hopefully the meteorologists are good in Vegas just for your travels to and from the stadium. But the stadium should be enclosed, right? I mean, I've seen the latest renderings, and it looks like it's gonna have a nice plate, like glass window that overlooks the strip. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, fully enclosed, and it's going to be an interesting design. If you look at it, it looks kind of like the Sydney Opry House in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're really going for kind of a unique design and try to make it kind of fitting for the Las Vegas Strip, because there's a lot of interesting buildings out there, and you look at Allegiant Stadium, and that's kind of unique for a football stadium. So I think that's kind of the plan they're trying to do with that. And those renderings most recently that came out were pretty interesting. The foul ground is pretty short.
Yeah.
Which you think of the Coliseum, it's the complete opposite.
Yep.
They have those big foul grounds, and I think they want it to be pretty intimate. I think it's only 33,000 seats maybe, so it'll be the smallest park in baseball, but I think a premium experience is what they're going for.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you notice the difference, and that's something when you go back to the Coliseum and you just look at the pictures, and if you've been out there, you know that the foul territory tormented opposing offenses, but the A's, I mean, they loved it, right? I mean, you would steal. I wonder what the statistic is on how many outs that would be stolen because of the foul territory in the Coliseum. But you look to those renderings, I mean, it's completely different. But then the mode moving forward with the A's, I guess you can say is kind of a little bit different as well when you look to the spending habits that has recently happened with the A's. They go and give Lawrence Butler an extension, and then they signed Severino to a huge contract. Is that something that kind of took you by surprise by the A's, just how they've done things in the past, or is this kind of a new philosophy for the A's moving forward?
Yeah, I think everybody was a little taken aback when they saw the Severino signing. Just based on the recent track record. I mean, they were going through a rebuild, and just, the A's in general over the last 20 years, they don't give out big contracts. So to give out a Severino deal and then Brent Rooker extension and obviously the Lawrence Butler extension, it's kind of signaled that they're moving into a new era. They're moving to a new city, and they feel like they have a team that can compete right now. They had a really good end to the 2024 season, a good second half. They've identified a good group of young guys who got their feet wet last year, had some success, and now they just want to hit the ground running in 2025. And they're kind of their weakness was pitching, and they went out and got Severino, traded for Jeffrey Springs, and they got some bullpen pieces as well, like Jose Leclerc. So they're feeling like the AL West is pretty wide open right now. There's not really a favorite. I guess you could say the Rangers are maybe the team to beat right now, but I don't think there's a lot of separation from them and the rest of the teams in this division right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a clumped up division because over the last couple of years with them winning the World Series, over the last couple of years with the Houston Astros, and then you had the Texas Rangers who won, I believe, 3 years ago now? Time flies when that happened. But Bruce Bochy came back and took them to the World Series. But now, I mean, you got a couple of teams that are in transition. I mean, yeah, the Rangers are still going to be there. You still have the Mariners who have really elite pitching, but their offense is very very questionable. But looking at this team, you think that they could compete for the AL West, like be a formidable opponent? And in looking at that, do you think that this team could potentially sneak in like a wild card spot or something?
I mean, that's the mentality that they have coming into spring training. They feel like they're ready to compete now, and if they don't at least push for the playoffs, I think it's going to be considered a failure. I think they really feel that highly about themselves right now. They felt really good about the way they finished last year, and they feel like their group right now, especially moving into a new ballpark where their offense is probably going to be even put up bigger numbers. Mm-hmm. They feel like they've got the formula to make a run at this thing and really push these teams in the division. And I think slowly as you talk to people around spring, people who watch this team, people who are around this team, I think they kind of are starting to come around that this team might surprise some people. I think I saw MLB.com poll around random players, and I think the A's were the number one team as a team that could surprise people in 2025. So there's high expectations in that locker room for sure, and they feel like if they don't compete this year, then it's kind of a loss, not something that they're expecting to do. They're not going into the season expecting to lose 100 games like they did for a couple years in a row.
Yeah, so it'll definitely be one of those surprise teams if they were to do that. But they kind of have the groundwork, right? We're talking with Martin Gallegos of MLB.com, covers the A's, beat writer for the Athletics, and it's weird. I mean, well, what are we calling them, Martin? Are we calling them just the Athletics? Are we calling them Sacramento A's? Like it's so weird because even when you talk about them, like I hate having to exclude the Oakland, and I guess I don't have to. I mean, I call them the Oakland Athletics if I want to, right? But what are we calling them, man? Because it's so weird when you go onto MLB.com and you're scrolling through all these teams and you see the Atlanta Braves and you see the San Diego Padres, and it's just Athletics. You know what I mean? Like it's such a weird concept right now.
Yeah, so they are going athletics, just athletics, which is weird, obviously. But their whole thing is like, you know what, we're kind of in transition right now. We're going to be in Sacramento temporarily, and they are going to honor Sacramento. They've got a patch that they're going to wear on their sleeves, and they're doing a bunch of other things in the city out there in West Sacramento to kind of introduce themselves to the city and get fans excited over there. But I think obviously, the end goal is to end up in Las Vegas, and once they move to Las Vegas, they'll go as Las Vegas A's. For right now, it's just Athletics or A's, and that's kind of it's already been decided, and that's what they're going to be known as the next 3 years. So, they'll have Athletics on their home jerseys and their road jerseys, alternate jerseys. It's all going to be Athletics for the next 3 years.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take, being that, we grew up in the Bay Area, and I'm a Giants fan, but went to the Coliseum pretty frequently. Just it's going to take a lot to get used to seeing that. Not seeing, the Oakland on the chest. It's going to be kind of weird But we've talked about how I'm feeling. We talked about just how it kind of has morphed into how you're covering the team and everything like that. But how are the players dealing with this type of move? I mean, you're going into Sacramento now. You're not in Oakland. Just how are they reacting to it? Because it's a difference with them and how the fans kind of responded last year in Oakland, it being their final year and the send off and the goodbye. But have you talked to any of the players? How are they feeling about playing in Sacramento and possibly the prospect of seeing it through in Las Vegas?
Yeah, obviously it's a tough spot for them. They're just out here playing baseball and can't really control any of it.
Right.
And I know they felt a special connection to the fans in Oakland, even though the games weren't full. Those fans that did show up, I mean, we all know that they're very passionate and they love that team. And a lot of them got to see these guys in the minors come up and now saw them at the major league level last year. They grew an attachment to them. So that obviously that last series in Oakland was very emotional. And I think probably for a while after that, it was kind of, what's next? They didn't really know what the next step was going to look like. But a lot of them have now got the chance to kind of go out to Sacramento. They did just some media events out there. They got to go to a Kings game. They got to tour the ballpark. And they really are, I think, a lot more comfortable with the move, just knowing that, they've put in a lot of upgrades to Sutter Health Park. They get it close to Major League quality, as close as they can. And, a lot of them have found places to live out there. And I think they like the reception that they got from the fans out there. When they did those media events, a lot of fans were excited. Sacramento is a big baseball town, even though they don't have a major league team. It's always been kind of traditionally a big thing out there. A lot of high school and college players, a lot of major league players, have come out from that area as well. So there is an appetite for baseball out there, and I think that's what the team is trying to capitalize on is getting them to come in. Obviously, only 14,000 fans, but they've sold out season tickets out there already, and so they're expecting a pretty energetic crowd. And I think the A's are looking forward to kind of using that to their advantage. Every other team's going to have to come into a smaller ballpark that they're not used to, and probably complain about the amenities and having to go out to the clubhouse out in center field. But the A's are going to embrace that. That's kind of been their message that Coste said is, let's make it our own and let's use it as a home field advantage for other teams come in and they're not used to this. We'll get used to this and we'll use that as our home field.
Yeah, I haven't even thought of it from the opposing team's perspective. Them coming into a minor league ballpark, and it's had the renovations, and to make it as easy or as close to a major league quality as possible. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, you look at the ballpark and the intimacy of it. It's a minor league ballpark, right? So that could maybe psych out some of these teams that come into Sacramento. So I didn't even think about that being a home field of some sort. So we're talking with Martin Gallegos. A couple more minutes here. You talk about the Sacramento connection with Major League Baseball and a lot of big leaguers coming out of there. Logan Webb being one of those guys for the San Francisco Giants. So I kind of want to shift the conversation a little bit to the Giants here, just because I know baseball through and through. So really quickly, I mean, Giants fans are getting excited about their performance in spring, and I guess my question to you is how much do you weigh on performances in spring training? And I'm not just talking about the record. Obviously, they're 12-3-3. You're not talking about the record, but you're just looking at these players' performances to where you look at Matt Chapman. He's having a hell of a spring right now. You're looking at Jung-Hoo Lee, who is playing determined baseball right now and is looking to be that maybe number 3 hitter for the Giants, and he's looking really comfortable at the plate. And his rookie year was kind of derailed last year because he ran into the wall in center field and ended up not playing anymore after Mother's Day. And then you look at Willy Adames. He's having a great spring as well, and some of their young pitchers. So I guess just going back to the question, how much do you weigh the success in spring training, and how much does that translate to the regular season?
Yeah, it's tricky, because there could be some guys that just completely go off and hit 500 and you're expecting big things, and then all of a sudden the season starts and they're in a slump for a month. So I think it's difficult. Every player is different. Obviously you have your established guys and they're just gonna kind of go through spring and treat it like a warm up and ramp up for the season. Then you have your guys who are trying to make the team, and performance is important a little bit more to them. I think generally though, like it's kind of how you finish spring. Even if the numbers aren't great, if they're having a good last week and putting up good at bats or having good outings, that's generally kind of a good tale for how they're going to enter the season. Because there could be some guys who have really good starts at the start of spring, and then they kind of tail off towards the end, but the numbers overall might still look pretty good. But, once the season starts, it's a completely different animal. So I don't think there's one specific formula, but I think looking at how their spring ends, how guys are feeling going into the season, I think that's a good barometer for how guys are going to do. But I could tell you, just talking to Max Schumann in the clubhouse a few minutes ago, he talked about the Giants kind of just out of nowhere and said, I think the team's going to be good. I mean, he's looking at the arms in that bullpen. He's looking at Ryan Walker, who we saw in AAA, and just said that guy's nasty. I know they got a few guys in that bullpen who are going to be pretty good. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting how this Giants team does. I know that division is obviously really tough. We all know that, but they got an interesting group over there. They made some interesting moves, obviously, this offseason, and I'll be interested to see just how they start off this season in that division.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the division is really tough and might be one of the better divisions in all of baseball when you look at the National League West with the Diamondbacks and with the Padres, the Dodgers. The only team that isn't really a formidable opponent but can give you a hard time in Coors Field is the Rockies, right? So you kind of comp that to you look at the AL East. I mean, that might be the one division that kind of rivals the West as far as like the heavyweights of the division. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a hard hill to climb for the Giants, and the Giants fans know that. But just looking at this squad and how they're performing, and also just, I mean, we've been talking about the vibes like all spring long. Is that it feels that this is a different team because they're a cohesive group. They've been together, right? And it hasn't just been with spring training. Matt Chapman is getting a full spring in spring training, and he's been working with Willie Adames, and there's just that cohesiveness that you have. As we all know in baseball, that is a huge part of it is team chemistry, right? So it'll be interesting to see what the A's can do, what the Giants can do. I mean, these are kind of sleeper teams, I guess, in their respective divisions to see if they can make some noise. So really, really interesting stuff there. But yeah, Martin, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, man. I really appreciate you. I know it's getting late. I don't want you to get locked in Scottsdale Stadium. So yeah, man, really appreciate you stopping by the podcast, and my apologies for the camera not working. But thank you, man, for being flexible and making it work on the phone call. Really appreciate it, and we'll continue to talk, man. I'll talk to you. Maybe I'll see you out in Sacramento because it's not too far for where I am. I'm kind of in the middle of Sacramento and San Francisco in the East Bay, so it's just a drive up to 80, man. So maybe we'll get together soon.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime, man. I love coming on here. Glad we were able to work out those technical difficulties, and yeah, man. I'm sure at some point in the season we'll talk again.
Yes, sir. All right, Martin. Thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. See you.
All right, that was Martin Gallegos of MLB.com. Covers the A's. We got through it. You guys got some live radio just on the fly, figuring out how to figure out some of this stuff. But Martin Gallegos, great dude, covers the A's. If you guys can just check out all the stuff that he's doing for the A's, it was a lot of fun, a lot of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. So I'm going to get on out of here really quickly because I've been going for, actually, it's not even that long. I've only been going for an hour and 18 minutes. We got a couple of other videos, but I'll save that for tomorrow. But really quick, I'll get back out to the YouTube chat just to see what you guys are chatting about. Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. You saw Martin for a couple of seconds, so we gotta figure that part out. We gotta figure that out. I did a test earlier with my guy Danny Dunn. It worked, but there are some drawbacks to this system. So maybe I keep both of them going. Maybe when I have a guest on, maybe I go do the other system so that we can get them on there, no problem. But we'll have to figure that out. It's a work in progress, but I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. I think the whole situation with the A's and the move to Las Vegas and then playing in Sacramento, it's such an interesting thing. I saw a couple of questions. I think Rockin asked it, but Anthony answered the question. It was pretty much, how are the schedules going to be played out? How are they going to be managed? And essentially, Anthony answered it, and it was the same question that I kind of had. I was talking to Mike Holler about it. Like, how are the A's going to do this? How are they going to pull that off because there's not a way, because of the heat in Sacramento, there wasn't a way that you can go ahead and have both teams play in the same day. It's just not possible with the heat up there. I remember playing. I remember not playing. I remember working in Sacramento with the River Cats, and dude, in the summer when there was day games, even sometimes when it was a night game, and the sun is still out there, the sun is beating down. You would see the EMS just going through the aisles and people having like a heat stroke or something like that, and they have to get hydrated, and it's a scary sight, man, especially being that close to the field. I don't know how much that would interrupt the players' mindsets with the rumblings in the crowd or whatnot. So it's just not safe. You can't play a lot of day games in Sacramento. And I asked Martine, and I know he doesn't remember the schedule right verbatim for the A's, but just looking at it right now, I'm pulling it up. It looks like their home games primarily. They have a couple of day games early in the season, right? They have 2 day games, or they got Getaway Wednesdays, right? I mean, Getaway Wednesdays, 12:35 is the start times there in April, and then they got a weekend series against the Mets in April as well that start at 1:05 on Saturday and Sunday. Then you got 1:05 starts for Sacramento for the White Sox and the A's at the back end of April. Then you start going into. I'm interested to see what they do in the month of June. It's all night games except for Thursdays and Sundays, it looks like. At the beginning of June. When we get into the end of June, you only have the day game on Sunday at 1:05. July, it looks like almost every single game that they host, every game but one. It's the last game, Toronto Blue Jays going into Sacramento right before the All-Star game. Every other home game that they have, and let me count it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got 12. 11 of them are night games. 11 of the 12 in the month of July for the A's are night games. Then you go into August. It looks like more of the same. I mean, they only have 3 day games for the entirety of the month of August. So yeah, it's just really interesting, man. It's really interesting, and I was trying to figure out, how do they figure it out with the Sacramento River Cats, in that the River Cats, that the league, they play 6 games straight. They have Mondays off, and they play 6 game series, right? So how does that work? And I mean, I guess the solution is that they just have longer road trips. I guess. I guess the River Cats, I believe, go on the road for 2 town or 2 city road trips more than once, I believe, in their AAA schedule. So I'll have to go ahead and look at that, just the repercussions of the Sacramento River Cats. But yeah, man, it can't be easy for any of these guys, for the A's, for the teams coming in. I don't know. Is it simple to fly into Sacramento? I guess so. I mean, they have a big airport. So, yeah, just the travel, the accommodations, the heat, the timing of things. Like, it's just really interesting to follow that along for sure. The chimes make me feel like, are you guys still getting the chimes? Because I am not getting them anymore. So I got to figure this thing out. I apologize if you guys are still hearing that. But Lori is digging it. Lori thinks that the chimes makes her feel like she is on a game show. Which game show is it? Are we talking Price is Right? Are we talking Jeopardy? We're talking America's Greatest Game Show. What is it? Wheel of Fortune? We're talking about that. What game show are we talking about? I'm huge on game shows, by the way. But all right, let's see what else we got going on here in the YouTube chat. Just because I was starting to think of the. What is that beeping now? I'm starting to hear it beeping too, but it's not the chat. I don't know what that is. I think it might be my dryer. I don't know what that is. But let's get back out to the YouTube chat, because I just got fascinated by the scheduling of everything. So let me get back out to the YouTube chat, and thank you all for sticking around for as long as you have. I know Rockin' was itching for me to start early, but I wasn't home. I would have done it earlier, but I wasn't home, bro. So yeah. I mean, it goes on my schedule too. But definitely we'll have to figure out what the scheduling or the schedule will be for the regular season. I think we'll be starting maybe at like 5:30, maybe 5:30 up to first pitch, and then on select days we'll have some post game shows. There it is. I got the chime. That chime is every time Tacky cracks a. Okay. All right, AJ. Appreciate you. But let's get back out to the YouTube chat really quickly before I get on out of here. Big airport. The A's and the River Cats luggage is gonna get tangled up. Yeah, just like Mark Spears. Mark Spears stole somebody's luggage today. He thought that it was his, and apparently it was some woman's that he opened up. I wonder what that's what I should have asked him. I should have asked him when he was going through that. What was the giveaway, Mark? How did you know it wasn't yours? Oh man, yeah, you'd be like, oh, I didn't pack a bra. What is going on here? Yeah, no, that was funny stuff. Have you guys ever done that? Have you ever grabbed the wrong luggage, or does someone grab your luggage on accident? Has that happened? Has that been a thing? Does that happen anymore in the airport? I usually sometimes I'll grab the wrong bag because it looks similar, and I forget what the bag is and all that kind of stuff. But I've never like taken it away. Like I usually check the tag before you call an Uber. Like you want to check what you got before you walk away from that place. You want to make sure, because I mean your life is in that bag. You need it. So yeah, no, I really don't. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that happens. But to Mark's defense, he did say, and it's Mark with a C, EB. Just got to let you know. It's Mark with a C, not with a K. Mark, he said he had a very unique looking bag, and it was identical. So if it's unique, I understand. I understand that. But damn, like you got to check the tag before you pull it off of, or not even before you pull it off. I guess you could. But you got to check the tag before you call the Uber. You got to check the tag before you get in the rental. You know what I mean? That's just me. I don't know. I'm just precautious. And also, like, if I'm going on vacation, like, I don't want to go back to the airport. Like, Mark Spears had to go back to the airport. I felt bad for the guy. I was like, dude, that sucks. You were getting settled. Yeah, that's the worst. After a long flight, I think he flew into Boston. I don't know where he was. I would assume that he was out here. But he flew into Boston, and then you got to go back to the airport. I mean, dude, that's a long flight. Like, you don't want to go back to the airport more than you have to be there. And who wants to be at an airport? I mean, I don't even think the workers want to be at the airport at this point. But anyways, sorry, got off on a side tangent. I don't even know what got that started, to be honest. I think it was Mark Spears. Everybody was talking about Mark Spears. Somebody brought up Mark Spears. Dirty Work abandoned us. Yes, Dirty Work abandoned you. Because they had to. They didn't do it because they wanted to. They damn sure didn't do it because of they had a smile on their face. But I will never abandon you, Rockin'. On that note, I'm gonna get on out. But yes, no, I will never abandon you guys unless my window gets broken or something else happens of that nature. So we'll be at this every single night during the regular season. So really excited about that. I didn't ask Martine. Damn it! You know what? I needed to ask him about Justin Verlander and his thoughts on Justin Verlander. But we all have thoughts on Justin Verlander, which we'll get to at some point. What happened to the off-air podcast? It disappeared. I don't know. That's a good question. I have no clue. Rockin'. But this is essentially our off-air podcast, just me by myself, but with all of you fine folk. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of you guys you're into the Giants, right? You're into the Giants, but do you want to have an alt cast? Like, do you want me to pop on here during the show? Is that something that you would prefer instead of a post-game show? I mean, we could do that. We don't have to do the whole game, but we can be on here and BS and kind of make it a off-air podcast. Not that we're not going to talk Giants. I mean, we'll probably talk Giants and react to the game and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no. If you guys are down with that type of format, let me know. I'm up to feedback. whatever you guys want to see with this podcast, because we're still kind of growing. We're still kind of learning it to see what the best course of action is. I know a lot of you guys have said for me to do a post game, and I'm down to do that. Just not every night. I can't do a pre-game and then a pre-game and a post game. I can't do that every night. That is impossible. I guess I could, but I don't want to, I guess is the question. But let's see. EB chiming in. Walter come in at the 7th inning stretch. Call it the Walter stretch. Yeah, we could do that. I could definitely do that. Come in the 7th inning stretch, or we could take the first couple of innings. We'll have to see how it goes. Maybe we change it up. Maybe if it's a Verlander start and we want to see him perform and we want to watch it together, maybe we do that. And copyright issues. I don't think that I can pull up the game. I mean, I could, but then we'd get shut down, and I can't do that. But maybe I can get like a little widget here in the bottom right hand corner to where it gives us updates on the score or whatnot. But let's see what else you guys are talking about. Yeah, you guys are giving me the feedback. I appreciate that. That works. We kind of do that anyway. Yeah, dude. No, for sure. Let's see. AJ Cruz. Yeah, you like that one, AJ? I set that up just for rocking. I'll never abandon you. On that note, I gotta go. Let's see what else we got going on here. No team intimidates the Giants. Hell yeah, Robert. Giants are for real. Hell yeah, Robert. Preach, Robert. Come on, don't leave it on those 2 comments. I want to hear more, Robert. Give me some good news. Give me some good news about the Giants. Webb, Verlander, Ray, that's a great trio. Hell yeah, Robert. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, Robert. Don't stop there. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. I'm getting crazy. I'm getting crazy here. But let's see what else we got going on here. We're growing. We're definitely growing. I think post game for weekends could be fine. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. That's the great thing about this podcast. As we grow, we'll figure it out together, right? We'll figure it out together. It'll be definitely a fun time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. I want to thank all of you for stopping by and sticking around. Rockin' New Era, Anthony, Otis, EB, Tacky was in here as well. Robert for sure was getting me hyped towards the end of this podcast. AJ Cruz, Mike Val, all you guys, Lori, Hannah was in here as well. Everybody for stopping by and having a great conversation with me. It was a lot of fun, and definitely we will continue to do this every night. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. So thank you all for stopping by the podcast. It was a lot of fun. And thank you to Martin Gallegos of the A's, beat writer for the Athletics for MLB.com. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we got through it. We have backup plans in place. We just had to adjust on the fly, and that's what we do here on Passion for the Pastime. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Mañana, that's Spanish for tomorrow. Rockin', AJ, let them know. So you guys have a good one. Be safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow. 6 o'clock, we'll be here right on time. And maybe we'll have another guest. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. I'm kind of traumatized because it didn't work the first time. I don't know what I'm going to do. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And go Giants, baby. Come on, Robert. Let us know. All right, you guys. Have a good one. Oh, wait. Real quick. Robert, what's your prediction or projection for the Giants wins? We'll do that next week. That's a hell of a tease. I'm not even saying tomorrow. We're gonna do predictions the week of opening day. So mark your calendar. Predictions all week. We're gonna have everybody. We're gonna have guests. We're gonna have predictions all week of opening day, leading up to opening day on the 27th with the Giants going to Cincinnati. We'll give you all the predictions you want. So bookmark that, Robert. Bookmark that. Come back. We'll do all the predictions that you want. It doesn't have to be Giants predictions. It could be MLB predictions. We'll just do that. But you guys have a good one. Be safe.